Hello, everybody. It's time for Cappy Live. I'm glad everybody is able to join us tonight. It is Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, time for Cappy Live. On this beautiful Sunday evening in Central Alabama. I say beautiful loosely because we're having storms outside. I hope it doesn't affect the live tonight. If it does, just know that that's why. That's the reason why, is because of the storms. Hopefully it won't do that. You guys let me know you're here by saying hello. And as soon as enough people get on, we will get started. Hey, Katie. Happy Easter to you, too. Hey, Morgan. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. If you're in Alabama, I hope you're being safe in a shelter or sturdy home. I am here at Cappy Central, and the storm is about to hit us sometime between now and 11 p.m. Hey, Krista. Welcome. Hey, John. Happy Resurrection Day to you, too. Like I said earlier, if anything happens tonight, if we have any glitches or if it just goes out, just know that we have a storm brewing outside. It's getting pretty bad. It's so dark at my house right now. It's ridiculous. I believe you. Hey, Beth. Hope you guys are safe. Are y'all still at home, Beth, or you're in a shelter? I know John's in a shelter. John and his crew are in a shelter right now. Hey, I'm in the middle of 3 tornadoes. How are y'all? Y'all be safe, Haley. Yes, everybody, please be very, very safe. You're home. Okay, well, y'all get to that shelter if need be, or to that house across the way. All right, we have a few announcements. I'm gonna let a few more people get on. There's 5 people on. There's 5 people on and 3 likes. That doesn't sound right. 2 of you have not gone and hit that like button. Please do so if you have not yet done that. Hit that like button, and then if you haven't already, also hit that subscribe button. So you will be subscribed to Cappy Live. You'll know when we're on, and if you hit that notification bell as well. Oh, that's good, Morgan. I'm glad you guys have a shelter so close. There, whoever those 2 people were that did not hit the like button just went and hit it. Thank you so much. Let's let about 8 people get on, and then we'll get started, and I'll start with the announcements and everything. If you guys don't mind, go hit that share button too. Let everybody know we're here. If you don't mind. John's probably already done that. I'm sharing, so you guys do the same, please. There we go. It is shared. Thank you, Beth. I know you and John always do. Uh-oh. Morgan told on me, and now Beth's getting me. I don't know where my cup is. I'm sorry. I did find it from last week, though, but I put it somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. I'm sorry. I will make sure I get it. Hey, Rebecca from Kentucky. Thank you, Morgan, for sharing. It's gotten pretty bad here in central Alabama. The wind is getting kind of crazy. I was out earlier checking the weather, and yeah, it was getting pretty rough out there. The wind was kicking pretty hard, and the rain was coming and going. So I don't know what it'll do later. I know they said we are in for some pretty bad stuff between 11 and 2 a.m. So yeah. All right, I guess we have enough people now that we can go ahead and get started. I want to let everybody know that I did make a live announcement about our guest tonight. We were scheduled to have Jonathan Odom, the founder of Alabama Paranormal and Bigfoot. He is a devout Sasquatch investigator. He goes around different areas in the state of Alabama and I think other states too, and does follows up on reports of Bigfoot sightings, basically. And he has a channel, a very interesting channel. If you haven't checked out his channel, his name is Jonathan Odom. He is on YouTube at the his page is called Alabama Paranormal and Bigfoot. You guys go check out his videos. He's got some pretty interesting videos. He's got some pretty interesting evidence too. So y'all go check that out if you're into the Sasquatch thing. Not something that we really go for a whole bunch with Cappy, but we haven't. I told him today when I talked to him that in the last couple of years we've really started to kind of look into that a little bit. We're not really big on it. We've planned a few events and hadn't had a chance to get them going yet, but we have been talking about kind of getting into a little bit. So we invited Jonathan over to come over on the show tonight and be our guest and take your questions, and we were really looking forward to having him on. Unfortunately, there was a tornado hit somewhere. I don't know where. He didn't share with us where this happened, but his wife's parents' house was demolished. That's all we know right now. He's supposed to update us later on the condition of his in-laws. I'm hoping he gets a chance to do that because we did want to add them to our prayer list. John just put a link on the chat there for Jonathan's Facebook page. So y'all go check that out, and also check out his YouTube as well. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, they didn't know whenever he contacted us, he didn't know the condition of his in-laws, but he did know the condition of their home. It was completely demolished. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to be with us tonight. So our prayers and thoughts go out to Jonathan and his family. It's pretty bad whenever something like that happens, and especially when you don't know when it comes to family. So we're all going to put him in our prayers, him and his family in our prayers, and hope for the best. hopefully it was just their house destroyed, not them. That's what we can hope and pray for. So our theme tonight kind of got shambled by the tornado as well. So I guess we're just going to talk about paranormal stuff instead of talking about Jonathan and asking him questions on Sasquatch. I had a few questions for you guys that are into Bigfoot or believe in Bigfoot, or even if you don't believe in Bigfoot, and if you've been listening to this show for a while, you know that I have had an experience with what I think was a Bigfoot or Sasquatch whenever I was a very young child. So I've always been interested in it a little bit, and I've never pursued that. My studies in the paranormal never took me down that road. And my experiences with hauntings were so overmasking any other paranormal field that I stayed in hauntings, which I'm glad I did, because that's what birthed Cappy and what we have today. And I'm not sorry about that one bit, because it took me a lot of years. It took myself and Corey a lot of years to get where we are. We're one of the most respected teams in the Southeast. We're one of the most well-known teams in Alabama and in the Southeast. And now, by the grace of God and by a whole bunch of blessings, I have an amazing team. Y'all look on your chat bar there, and you'll see both my team manager and my case manager highlighted in blue. That's John and Beth. If you guys don't already know them, if you do know them, say hello and let them know how much you appreciate them. If you don't know them, get to know them. Because if you have friends in John and Beth, you have family in John and Beth. They are amazing people. I don't know where Cappy would be right now without those two people. They have played such a pivotal role in getting Cappy. And I'm going to get to y'all's comments. I see them popping up. They're really going. I'll get to every one of them, I promise. But guys, I can't talk enough about my team. We had that plan tonight for Jonathan to come on. Unfortunately, some devastating events took place that kept him away tonight. So we're just going to talk about Cappy and paranormal. And I wanted to start it out by talking about Beth and John. And I don't want to talk about Beth and John as a team either. I want to talk about them as individuals first. John heard us on Talk 99.5. And then he, I think, found the show through there and then started talking to us there. And John and I started talking. We had a couple of conversations. He had a few questions he wanted to ask me about the paranormal, and we started talking. And through the course of that talking, we just became closer and closer. Then I had said something about people joining the team, and John was the first person to pipe in. He was the first person to say he wanted to join the team, that he had been looking for a team to join. And so he joined. And John was not with us for very long before he became our case manager. And how he thrived in that, and how he thrived in Cappy and everything he did. I looked back and I said, you know what? This guy doesn't need to be our case manager. This guy needs to be our team manager. This guy needs to be running the show. I mean, he is top freaking notch. So he became our team manager. Then he was promoted after a very short period. He was promoted to team manager. John has now since became, through his investigations and studies, he's now become a team leader. So he is now team manager / team leader John Bowen. And I do not know where Cappy would be without him. I really don't. He is one of the most amazing guys I've ever met in my life. I can truly say that he is one of the few men males in my life that I can say that I love that is not my blood family. I love John to death. He has become, over the last few years, he's become more of a brother than a team member or a friend. And I do not know what I would do without him. I really don't. And I know Cappy would not be where it's at today without John. That is a fact. He has done so much for this team. He's done so much for this channel. He's the reason why our subs went up as fast as they did. He exposed us to some people in YouTube that were able to promote Cappy in a positive light and get more followers and more subs. Everything he does with the paranormal, anything he touches turns to gold, and we are beyond blessed to have them. So wow. I don't know what I would do without him. I really don't. I'm actually trying to, can y'all tell? I'm actually tearing up. Wow. I love John to death. I don't know what I would do without him. I really and truly don't. Not just with Cappy either. I can't imagine a life without my best friend in it. So thank you, John. Thank you very much. And then there's somebody else I was going to talk about too. Let's see, it's John. The guy that was supposed to be on tonight. John, the weather, COVID. Oh, yeah, Beth. I'm kidding. I would never forget my Beth. What do you say about Beth? My God. If you've ever, whether you're from the South or not, if you've ever truly wondered what a true Southern belle is, if that's ever popped into your head, if you've ever just sat around and said, you know what, I hear this term Southern belle all the time. I've heard it so many times throughout the years. I wonder what a true Southern belle is. Y'all want to know what a true Southern belle is? A true Southern belle is a female that is country but classy, beautiful but humble, intelligent but approachable, has manners, believes, let me just say patriotic, has that drawl but is extremely understandable and intelligent, and above all has that Southern pride beauty. That's a true Southern belle. Now, everything I just said describes two things. It describes a Southern belle, and it describes Beth. She has been, we interviewed 3 people for the case manager's job. And then it came down to 2. We already had someone in line to take that job for Cappy as case manager. And talking to that person, we said, you know what? This person would be better off over here. And then whenever we talked to Beth, we were like, oh my God, that's our case manager right there. Before we were off the phone with her, I already knew that I wanted to ask her to take the position. Since she took the position of case manager, she has become, excuse me, I'm sorry for y'all that wearing headphones. I should have went like this. Since she took the job as case manager for Cappy, she has become the boss. I mean, she is it. Nothing happens with Cappy. You would think that, you know, Johnny and Corey get together and we make these decisions and John gets up and, you know, he says this, and this. Beth's in charge. I ain't kidding y'all. Beth is the team mom. She is, oh my God, she is everything that I could have imagined that I wanted to be a part of Cappy. She's the best damn case manager that we've ever had. She's the most attentive, the most intelligent. You guys go look at it. I'm tearing up talking about my team, guys. What the crap? I thought this was just a bunch of hot air, a bunch of BS to waste time because we didn't have a guest tonight, but I guess it's real. I already knew it was real. But y'all, if you doubt anything I'm saying about Beth, I don't know why you would. If you do, something's wrong with you. But if you do, go look at our website, CappyParanormal.com, CAPI Paranormal.com. All right. For you Alabama fans, that's CAPI PARANORMAL, that little dot thing that you see on the money sign, COM. All right. For any Alabama fans that need that spelled again, just tell me and I'll spell it out for you again. But anyway, they know who that was for. Just go check out our website. Go look at it. It is a professional, nice, well put together. I mean, it is amazing. And this lady built this site for us. I mean, she built it. She told us when she built it, she said, hey, this thing is what major companies pay thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for. And she built that entire site for us, guys. I mean, and she's not a computer geek either. She's not someone that, knows the ins and outs of everything there is to know about a computer either. She does know how to operate one, obviously. But she's not a computer geek. She's just very, very, very intelligent, extremely intelligent. It floors me. Her and her husband both are just amazing people. Whenever I met her husband, Tom, I said to myself, I said, I want this guy on my team. But I didn't know how he felt about that. Then she came to me and she said, hey, my husband wants to take the class. And I was like, okay, that's cool. We'll definitely do that. I said, just nonchalantly, I was like, does he want to take the class because he just wants to know how to do this? Or does he want to take the class because he may be wanting to join? And at first, when I first started talking about him being on the team, Beth told me, I don't even know if she remembers this or not, but she told me, she says, I don't think he'll want to do any of that. I don't think he'll want to, be on the team or anything, but he's going to be there in support of me, which he is. You guys, they have got such a rock solid, beautiful marriage. They are so in love. They're like little teenagers. These two, they are. Them two together are so sweet. They'll give you a cavity. But it's amazing, and that's a good thing too. I hope that. I don't know how long you guys been married, Beth. Tell us how long you and Tom have been married. But they are amazing people. I don't know what I would be doing right now. I don't know what Cappy would be like without Beth as well. So I have found that golden coin that every team that wants to find. There's a thing that every team wants to get, and it's the perfect team. That's what everybody wants to get, is that perfect team. And not everybody can get it, and they struggle. And Cappy struggled for a long time. We really did. Guys, at one time, Cappy had 28 members. We had 28 members on our team. And out of that 28 members, I'd say about 25 were active investigators. Guys, it was horrible. It really was. When it first started and we had that many people, I was like, man, I like this. You know, I've got all these people. I never have to worry about, you know, having enough people for an investigation. We can do several investigations a night where, you know, we're strong, where, you know, we can do anything we want to do. But it didn't take long for that to sink in that that was not a good thing. And it was not a good thing. I promise you. It became a logistics nightmare. And it was horrible. And it came a time whenever I had to start letting people go. And I hated that. I just seriously hated that. A lot of them did it on their own, thank goodness. So I didn't have to. But a lot of teams have spawned from Cappy. Very few have made it, with an exception of a few have actually made it as a team. Now, we've had some people go off and do their own thing and change the paranormal back into Hollywood like they think it's supposed to be and use bullshit and stuff like that. We've had people do that. I don't consider that a successful team. There's several of those still around that were with Cappy, and they went off and did something on their own and started other teams, and they do it their way and Hollywood way. And, you know, with the sage and the boxes and the stones, blah, 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 all that crap. And I don't consider that a successful team because it's not a real paranormal team. So, but I have had a lot of them go out and do it the right way and not survive. But there are a few that have, and they're still going today. And I applaud those that have done it the right way and have kept going. But none of them is Cappy. And the reason is because we have that golden coin. We have that one thing that every team wants, and that's the perfect team. And we do have them. And I'm so proud of that. I really am. That is my biggest thing right now, guys. I just want y'all to know. I want you and Beth and John, I want y'all to know how much I appreciate you and how much I love you, straight from the heart. But I want everybody else to know how wonderful you guys are, how amazing you guys are, because nobody else knows that. I can sit here and talk till I'm blue in the face, but they still can't feel what I feel because of you guys, because of Beth and John and Tom and Corey and Michelle. I don't know how this team would survive without the crew that we have. I really don't. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. All right, let me catch up with your... Dang, I missed a lot, didn't I? I was a long talk. All right, I remember you saying greetings, blah, blah, blah. Remind me to tell you my Sasquatch story. It's super funny. Okay, Morgan. Yeah, we can do that. Would you like to do that on the air instead of typing it all out? Could you do that, Morgan? You want to do it on the air? I hope her parents are... I do too. I hope that Jonathan's in-laws, their parents are definitely okay. Johnny has a story too. A Sasquatch story, I do, really. I'll tell mine too. So we still talk about Bigfoot. Even though Jonathan can't be here, we can still talk about Bigfoot. It's still paranormal. Two of my aunts swear they saw 2 Bigfoots. Oh, really, Beth? We've never talked about that. We never talk about Bigfoot with Cappy. We should. You know what? I don't know if I believe in Bigfoot or not. I believe there's a possibility for anything. So I guess Bigfoot's possible. Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know because I've never seen one, but I did have an experience that kind of makes me think that's what it was. But I was so young that I can't really count that. So. Morgan, I thought about that. They truly are amazing and love them. Yes, they are. You know what they say, great minds and all that. I found Cappy by total accident, if you believe in that kind of accident or coincidence. I don't think you found Cappy by accident, Morgan. I think it was fate. We love you so much. The Skype class, 4/18 at 9 a.m. John, can we change that to 10? Is that okay? Let me know. If we can't, that's fine. We'll keep it at 9. You know the schedule better than I do. Could that please be 10 o'clock? I've just seen, I'm not questioning you or anything. Believe me, I would never do that because you're usually on the ball with that when it comes to times and stuff. But the only reason I say that is because we've done that 8 and 9 o'clock, and it was just like we really didn't get started till almost 9:30 or 10 o'clock anyway. But we've done that 10, and it's always worked out really great. So is that possible? Can we change that Skype class to 10? If not, that's fine. I'm not saying let's do that. I'm asking. John, I'm like a virus. Well, it's a virus I'm glad I have, John. I'm glad I'm tested positive for the John virus. I am so happy I tested positive for that virus. So John's a Midas. He really is. When it comes to the paranormal, if he touches it, it turns to gold. I say you keep messing with Beth, she's going to get you. She will get me through, I promise you. A true Southern Belle is a lady through and through, and that is Beth, 100%. She is a lady. All of us ladies take charge. That's right. I love my brothers so much. Best guys ever. Oh, Beth. You better stop. You're going to make me cry. I'm already on the verge. Southern Belles take charge, and you don't even realize it until it's too late. That's right, Morgan. She was our case manager, and one day I looked around and she was the boss, and she still is. And I am very happy to have her as my boss. I really am. She is amazing. She introduced herself not long ago we went on an investigation, I think it was, and we were introducing ourselves, and I think she said, "This is the boss." And I was like, "No, I got to correct you there. I'm not the boss. She's the boss." Oh, you said damn. At least it's not nipple. Yeah, I didn't say nipple this time because Beth, I think it was Beth, said we can't say nipple. So no nipple. Do not say nipple. Morgan, you said nipple. Don't say nipple no more because we can't say nipple. No nipple. The word nipple is not allowed. That's right, John. Thank you for telling them. This is a public service announcement, a PSA. No nipple on YouTube. Can't say nipple. Beth says they've been married 147 years. Tom and Beth as perfect balance to one another. John, you hit it right on the head with that one. They really are. Tom and Beth they are the perfect balance to one another. They really are. And guys, hanging out with them and partying with them is just, oh my gosh. They are so fun. They're funny. They just have fun. And it's amazing. It really is just to hang out with them. And oh man, that was an amazing, amazing time we had. My wife and I, Paramama and I, we had such a great time. I think that's why I got so drunk, is because of Tom and Beth. It was their fault. They were just throwing the fun. That's all it was. John, I won't be able to take the class anytime soon, though I hope I can before this dang quarantine's over, and I hope to join the team. Morgan, why can't you take the class anytime soon? John and I have the perfect boss. Oh. I'm only a perfect boss because I work with perfect people. But I've been taping and saving potential places that even if they're dead zones, they'd be very interesting to visit. Beth is blushing. It's too funny. I'm not sure how I feel about you speaking of yourself in the third person, though, at Beth. Hey, don't lock the sage. That's part of my heritage. and I use it regularly. It actually has a calming influence over negativity. No, Morgan, it doesn't. It may have a calming, negatively calming, or a calming influence over negativity for you, but no, it doesn't have any type of power. I'm sorry, I can't agree with you there. You might not want to join Cappy if that's your views. It might not be fun. Other people have tried and it didn't work out. Yeah, sorry. Sage doesn't work. I'm sorry. It's part of your heritage, but it still doesn't make it work. I'm so sorry. I barely know John, but I already really like him. He didn't have to, but still the time to check in me. Oh, yeah, John's amazing. Okay, Morgan, you're saying I can about calling in? Yeah, well, let's hold on. Well, let me see what we can do to make that happen. There's no crying in Cappy. Hey, when I talk about these people, I might cry. So you just have to get over it. I love them so much. It's heartfelt. I mean, it really is. I'm so thankful that John was case manager. That's how I found Cappy. Yeah, if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have had y'all. Anything that just drops in perfect, that just everything just falls in place. Y'all know there's no mistakes, there's no accidents. Stuff happens for a reason, and I don't believe in all those numbers. I don't believe in the tarot readings and the crystals and all that crap out there, including Sage. Sorry, Morgan, but including Sage. But I just don't believe in any of that stuff. But I do believe that stuff does happen for a reason. And everything that happened with Cappy and the way it is now, it all fell into place. Everything had to happen. I had to take that, what started everything in the balls rolling, if you will. What started it all was me taking that invitation to go on the radio show. There was these two funny guys talking on the radio. I was flipping through channels. I was in Birmingham. I was working, and I oh no, okay, yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, no. That's not going to be the reason why you don't know. Sorry, not accepting that. All right. Here's how it all started. There was these two funny guys. I'm flipping through the radios. I'm working. I was bored and I wanted to hear something. And I'm not when I'm working, I don't listen to a whole bunch of music because I go into so many diversities throughout the communities that I go into. So I don't just sit there and just listen to, music because, I make people angry for a living. Okay. I'm in my, y'all hear that? That's Libby trying to get into the show. Libby, what is it? What do you want to say? Can y'all hear? What do you want to say? Say I love you. Say I love you. Libby. Libby, say I love you. She's doing that thing where she turns her head. Say I love you. She's crazy. But anyway, I'm flipping through these channels and I'm listening to talk radio. It's kind of a divider, right, of all the different genres. So I'm listening to talk radio and I flip through this channel and I find 99.5, Talk 99.5. And I'm listening to these two guys and they're talking about, oh man, what were they talking about? I don't even remember. They were talking about something great, weird and stupid and, just funny. And they had asked a question about what people do for a living, funny things people do for a living. And so I said, I'll call in, check them out, So I called into the show and I told him, I said, well, I, you gonna keep talking about that Sage and you gonna make me not like you. I don't think that's possible. I think I'm still gonna like you, Morgan. I'm still gonna love you. Even though you're completely wrong, I still love you. But you heard her. That's so funny. But yeah, Sage doesn't do anything. Morgan, how would Sage do anything? We're gonna get on that debate first before you call in. We'll get on that debate, and I'll let you debate me on that. Okay, I'll give you a chance. No one has won yet, so you'll be the first if you do. But yeah, we'll give you that shot. But I call in and I tell him, I say, look, I'm a paranormal investigator, and I've been on the radio before, and I said, I think that's what I would like to do. My crazy career is I'd like to be a paranormal and a paranormalist on the radio. And so they're like, Leland's like, okay, I'll tell you what. He says, we're going to give you a test. And he asked me a few paranormal questions. I don't know. I think he Googled paranormal and he asked me some questions. I don't even remember what the questions were, but I got them, of course. And and I'm not saying, of course, because pat myself on the back or I'm smart or anything like that. Believe me, I have to Google stuff sometimes during the show. All right. Y'all don't know it yet, but I keep this on Google when I do a show right next to me. It's sitting right there, right next to me. And sometimes people ask questions and I have to Google. I do my swipe spelling and I Google it really fast. And I usually read about 2 or 3 lines of it while I'm doing the show. If you ever see me look over when I'm talking, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading a couple lines while I'm talking. And that's how I know, the answers to some things, because it doesn't all just stick in my head. I mean, I've been doing this since I'm 8, 41 years of doing this. And so I do know a lot when it comes to the subject of paranormal, but I do have to look stuff up sometimes. So I'm not super smart. Don't get me. That's not what I'm saying. But the questions that he asked me, I knew right off the top of my head, and I was able to answer them without looking it up or anything like that. And he knew I wasn't looking them up because I was answering them as he was asking me. And so he said, you know what? We want you to come on the show. He said, when we get done with the call, and I stayed on the call with him for a long time for the rest of that segment. And so they finally said, hey, we got to go. There's other callers, we got people waiting. But it was a really cool show. I mean, a really cool segment. We got to talking about it, and it was close to Halloween. So he said, when we hang up, when you get off the show, don't hang up. Stay on the line. The producer's going to get your information. We want to bring you on the show. I said, okay, no problem. So he said, you already have the radio voice, and we want to, bring you on. And so I said, okay. And so when we got off the show, I gave the producer my blah, blah, blah. And so a couple of weeks later, it was close to Halloween. I get a phone call from one of the producers, and they said, hey, we want to get you on the show this coming Friday night. I think this was a Monday or Sunday or Monday when they called and said, we want to get you on the Leland Live show on Talk 99.5 this Friday night. And I said, okay, no problem. I said, I'll definitely come in and we could do that. And so I came in on that Friday night, and I had, they said, we're going to bring you on for an hour and let you talk paranormal and maybe take some questions from the audience. And, we'll go from there. We said, okay, cool. No problem. So I came in a few minutes before I was supposed to go on. They bring me and they sit me in this little waiting room kind of thing there with so I'm sitting there and I'm drinking, a Diet Coke and eating some cookies and everything. And I could see them, but I couldn't hear them. And so I turned my phone on and found the Talk 99.5 website, and I started listening to the show. And so they were talking about me throughout the show. They were talking about other things because it's a news talk radio show is what it is. That's what they do. They talk politics and news and weather and blah, 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 and news talk. And so they're talking about this stuff. And every now and then he's saying, hey, we're going to bring on this guy who's been on our show. He called in and blah, blah, blah. We wanted him to come and join us. And he's a paranormalist and he does ghost hauntings, investigations. And we want to bring him on and let people talk to him. And, we're going to let you guys ask him some questions. going to have him on for about an hour, and then we'll, move on. So we said, okay. So finally, it came time for me to go in. At that time, they were on from 3 to no, from noon. No, 2 to 6. That's what it was. They were on from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And so he said, hey, at 3 p.m., we're going to bring you on until 4. I said, okay. And so 3 p.m. came along. I go in the studio. They show me how to set, where to set and how to set and put the headset on and where to plug in at, my cough buttons and my pause and all that stuff. And all this is right here next to me. And they show me how to use everything and blah, blah, blah. I'd been on the radio before, but it'd been a long time. And so we're sitting there, and then it came on. We started talking. Dude, whenever we started talking, and as soon as he said, we're going to let you guys ask Johnny some questions, the phone, to have a board there with all these lights on it, and it's got different lines, they blew up. I thought smoke was going to come out of this machine. Everybody in the listening area in Birmingham and north of Birmingham, and as far east and west as they go and south, it just blew up. I mean, people from all over called in. We answered so many questions and talked to so many people, and it was just an amazing show. We went the rest of their show. Instead of the hour, it was supposed to stop at 4. It came to 4, and he's like, man, we're not even done yet. He said, we're not even done talking yet, and we still have calls. Can we go the rest of the show? Do you have time? Can you stick around for the rest of the show? And I said, absolutely. And that's what it turned into, was me doing the whole rest of the show. And so we did all the way to 6 o'clock. And after it was over with, he's like, man, we've got to get you back on. We started talking about doing a paranormal show. We just started talking about all kinds of stuff. It blew up. And so he said, I want to get you back on when it's not Halloween, because everybody does it when it's Halloween. I want to get you on when it's not that. And so it just went from there. And we got so many different people, and because of that show, and then we got so many more people watching Cappy Live. Now, Cappy Live at that time was on Facebook. It wasn't on YouTube. It was on Facebook. And so we had a lot more people coming in and watching the show with us every Sunday night. And it just turned into what it is. It just blew up. And then that's how, John found out about it. And that's how, through John, that's how we got Beth, and it just went, and it is what it is, and now, at that time, I wanted to do a radio show. I was saying, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do a radio show, a Cappy Live radio show. We'll do a couple of hours, every day, or, 3 or 4 hours once a week. And, we were looking into sponsors and stuff like that. And I thought that's what we were going to do. And then, Cappy Live blew up to what it is. And I was like, wow, let's just keep doing Cappy Live. We don't need a radio show. We can get, reach more people doing this. And so that's what we do now, is we do Cappy Live. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And, but all that stuff, I say all that to say this, because of that event, because of me stepping out and doing that, it set into motion, a avalanche. I don't even want to say a domino effect, because a domino effect, one thing happens after the other. This was an avalanche of stuff. It was an avalanche of motions and happenstance that happened, and it turned into what it is. And I don't think anything happens for, I don't think anything that happened did not happen for a reason to have what we have now. For me to be as blessed as I am, to be with the crew that I am with now, and to have Cappy the way it is now, with our events that we do, our classes, our shows, our speakings, our appearances. I mean, everything is just wonderful, and we love it. And we're going to do a lot more of that other stuff. What we did down in Saraland, we're going to do more of that stuff. What we did, we're going to do some more parades. We were supposed to do a parade, but I gave that to someone else. I said, no, y'all can do that. And then there was another parade that come up, and we said, no, you can do it. But we're going to do some parades. I've got some massive thoughts in mind about doing some parades to get our names out there. We're going to definitely do our classes more. once all this stuff is over with, whenever we get the all clear and we can go back to our lives again, Cappy's going to be there. It's not going to stop. We're not going to just phase back in. We're going to hit it ground running. All right. So that's what happened. And now Cappy is what it is now. Let's see. What did I miss? What did I miss here? Let's see. Why am I not seeing a bunch of the comments? I don't know, Morgan. Okay, John says you're not restricted in any way, so you should be able to. Okay, I don't know what happened, but the chats were only showing mine and John's comments and some of Beth's. I fixed it. Okay, good. You got it fixed. Yeah, I don't even start to know what YouTube does sometimes. It's crazy. I'm also a true believer in things for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah, I don't either, Morgan. Look at it this way. Do you all believe in the power of prayer? Of course I believe in the power of prayer. Or there's some of you that don't believe in the power of prayer and some of you that do believe. Look at Sage in that fashion. I know. I done won the debate right there. I know for a fact you're not comparing Sage to prayer. Seriously? Morgan. That's like comparing the Pope to Jesus. Oh my gosh. Really? A weed to prayer. Lord have mercy. Sage keeps negativity away. No, it does not. From my house. Has a calming effect on my 15-year-old. Maybe, yes. Emotions, calming her, that kind of thing. Yes, it can definitely do that, but that's not Sage. That's her. So prayer works for those that believe, just as Sage works for those that believe. If you don't believe, then it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Sage doesn't have an underlying power like prayer. Oh my God. Dear Lord. Very cool, Johnny. Whatever. Okay, Beth, I don't know what you're talking about. Probably something I just said and I don't remember it, but thank you. However, I don't walk around with a bag of sage, stones, candles, and such trying to banish or talk to spirits. Sage is for my own personal use. And it's in your own personal belief too, because you're talking some crazy junk now. You need more appearances, boss man. Need more appearances? What do you mean, Beth? Leland and AJ have pretty much given Johnny an open invitation. I'm going next time. Yeah, definitely. John's going with me next time. Absolutely. And thank you, John. I appreciate you thinking of me. This Cappy family. Of course you're Cappy family, Morgan. Cappy family doesn't mean you're a member of the team and investigating. Cappy family is everybody. We don't like the word fans because we don't, one, feel like we're, worthy of fans. And two, that singles you out or separates you from us. And we don't want that. We don't like the word fans. We like family. That's why we say Cappy family. Okay, Morgan. You've said what you said about Sage. Morgan Page likes Sage. That's why you like Sage, because your name is Page. Oh my gosh. Morgan Page. She likes the Sage. Puts Johnny in a rage. Johnny wants to put her and her Sage in a cage and leave them there forevermore. Never to. I'm sorry. I don't want to put you in a cage. That's just the only thing I can think of. Morgan Page likes the Sage and puts Johnny in a rage. You need to have a straitjacket and a cage. I hope you know I'm playing. I'm just having fun at your expense, and I apologize. Would you stop asking me if I want to buy your protection? Okay. Let's debate this issue. I've already won. You lost it on your own by comparing Sage to prayer. Oh my gosh. But Morgan, will you agree with me on this? And if you don't, please say so. And supporters or family. Right, exactly. Will you agree with me? Just like all family, we don't always agree on everything to love one another. That's right. That's all we agree on is to love each other. My cousins and I have decided to start a tradition in our family called the Dancing Witches of Fayette County. Cool. All right. Will you agree with me on this, Morgan Page, that likes the sage and puts Johnny in a rage? That's what I'm going to call you from now on. Will you agree with me on this? When we die, obviously she is Beth, yes. But when you die, not you personally, I hope you are around for a very long time. I'm not going to say I hope you don't die because you're going to die. Everybody's going to die. But when a human dies, let me put it that way. That way it can't be misconstrued and me saying I hope you die. But when you die, will you agree with me that the only thing that happens is that we lose our meat suit? Simple, right? The only thing that happens to us when we die is we lose our body. We lose our meat. Our body dies. Our body dies. Not our dotty buys, but our body dies. And it's not a weed, it's a bush. It's same thing. It's as useful as a weed. This is a placebo effect. Will you agree with me on that, Morgan? Yes or no? When we die, the only thing we lose is our meat suit, right? It's not so much Jesus is better than the Pope, because Jesus doesn't set himself apart as being better than anybody. It's just a non-comparison. Jesus is the embodiment of God. The Pope is pretty much anti-Christian from the Catholic Church, if you know what I mean. Especially the modern day Pope. You're slurred his speech. My speech is not slurred. I just didn't say the right word. No, Beth, I'm only a witch at Halloween. Are you not going to answer my question, Morgan? Did I make you angry? I hope I didn't. I wasn't trying to. I was adding comedy. The only thing that I called you out on is when you compared sage to prayer. Are you not going to answer me? Can we not debate sage? You brought it up, not me. Yeah, I think I made her angry. I apologize. I wasn't trying to make you angry. Ha ha ha. Morgan Page also likes the Mary Jane. Is it that much of a delay? Of a lag? Go ahead, let me hug myself. I think Morgan is smoking the Mary Jane. Where are you at on what I said, Morgan? You want to call in and debate this? Maybe that'll help. I will PM you my number. You want to call in and debate this, and then we can talk about the your experience with oh dear Lord, why are you texting me? Oh, never mind, Morgan. John sent me your number. I don't know, and feel free. I don't know, and feel free. That was to Katie. Right, Beth? I agree. I think that would be stepping right back into what we were already in. I agree 100%. I'm also trying to keep my eye on the weather, y'all. All right, cool. Okay, finally, there we go. Come on, Johnny. I'm not a snowflake. Yep. You need some butt rub. I agree with that. Okay, cool. You agree with that. Jesus is better than the Pope. Like I said, I don't want to say Jesus is better than the Pope because I don't think Jesus would say that. It's just not a comparison. Jesus would not ever say that he's better than anyone or better than any man. He would just say that, I mean, there's no comparison there. He is the creator of man. So, I mean, he's not going to do that. But I do see what you're saying. But yeah, you should, Beth. It's coming in now. Corey just texted me and said the worst of it is fixing to hit us. So if we go out, that's what happened. All right. If it just clinks out, that means we lost power or internet or both. So if that happens, y'all know why. Hey, Margot. The Pope is the embodiment of Catholicism. Yeah. Okay. We won't get into the Pope. Let's don't do that. All right. So you agree with me. Do you want to debate this on the phone, on the air with your voice so everyone can hear? Or do you want to just keep doing it like this? It's your choice, Morgan. Just let me know. Welcome, Margot. You came in right on a debate. All right, we'll just keep it going here, and then I'll call you on the Bigfoot thing, okay? So you agree with me that once we die, all the thing that happens is we lose our meat suit, right? So if that is true, I like debates. Awesome, Margot. You're in a good one. The debate is Sage, Margot, just so you'll know. And just so everyone knows, if someone else popped in and I didn't see you, or if someone went to the bathroom or whatever, the debate is Morgan is saying that Sage works for anything paranormal. Okay. I think calling in would help. Okay, Morgan, we can do that. You want me to call you? I have your number. You don't have mine, but you're fixing to because I'm fixing to call you. Or you're about to. Katie hates it when I say fixing to because she's a Yankee and she can't help it. Let's see. Who sent me that? Oh, he did. All right, here, we're going to call Morgan, y'all. And I'm going to hold the phone up so y'all can hear it, so y'all see me holding it like this, okay? This is Morgan. One ringy dingy.
Hello.
Hello, Morgan.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
Okay, can y'all hear her? She said, hang on a second, hang on. Could y'all hear that?
Okay. There it went. It didn't connect to my earpiece when I answered for some reason.
Okay. Tell us, excuse me, tell us your name and your birthday really slow so everybody can see if they can hear you.
Okay, my name is Morgan, and my
just month and day, not year.
Oh, okay. March 28th. I don't care if anybody knows how old I am.
Okay, well, I wasn't gonna.
I'm 36.
Okay, 36. Awesome. I wished I was. No, I'm proud of my 49 years. But all right. So here's. But let me set this up again so everybody will know, because there's a couple people that just joined us. Okay, they said yes, we can hear. Okay, awesome.
Okay, where I said that.
Wait.
Let me hug myself.
Wait. Hold on. We're gonna set it up first. Hold on before we get started. All right. So the question is, let me go back. The question is let's see. You know what? I'm not going to go all the way back because I'm never going to find it. So, anyway, Morgan brought up sage, and y'all know what that does to me when people bring up stuff like crystals and sage and all that stuff. They do have their parts, but not in the paranormal. They don't work. Okay, so my question to Morgan was, when we first started this, was if she agreed with me that when we die, the only thing that happens to us when we die is that we lose our meat suit. We no longer have this vessel. Yes, and she said that on the chat and right now that she does agree that that's the only thing that happens, is that's the only limitations that we lose is our meat suit. We still stay the same person. We're still the same. You know, our personalities are not embedded in our physical brain or our physical tissue or blood or heart or anything like that. That's our personality.
We had that
and
conversation last week.
Right, exactly. Yeah, all of our inner self and our beliefs and our personality, all that's part of our soul. That's part of what we are and who we are. Now there are some parts of that, because a lot of personality and a lot of beliefs are through your upbringing. So if your soul is there before your body is, which obviously it is, or we wouldn't work if it wasn't, then we can say that there are some beliefs to those personalities that would not be there without the meat suit, because it is embedded in our physical tissue brain. Right, exactly, and memories and experiences and stuff like that. But we still remember all that when we die, obviously, because we've proved that through EVPs and K2 studies. We've proven that, you know, those memories do stay with us. So all the inner self stuff is part of our soul. So keeping that in mind, if I come to your house, Morgan, and right now come in my physical form, not as a ghost, but as Johnny, all bald, ugly, 250-pound Johnny comes to your house right now and knocks on your door, and you invite me in and we have a drink. And then throughout the evening, something happens to where you want me to leave. You say, you know what? I got to work in the morning. I've got stuff to do, or I'm just ready to go to bed. I need you to leave. Well, let's say Johnny decides that he doesn't want to leave. I'm like, I decided, you know what? Get over it, Morgan. I'm not leaving. You know, I'm a big guy.
Johnny decides to be a stubborn jerk.
Right. Exactly. So, I decide I'm not leaving, and you get out your what to make me leave?
I will totally get out my sage, start burning it, and waving it in your face.
Well, you're probably going to get me to leave because it stinks like crap. I hate the smell of it, so that might work. Personally, if it was me, I would have got my pistol. If there was a big, brawly, 250-pound bald guy in my house, I would have gotten my gun and said, no, you're going to leave walking, or you're going to leave in a bag. So anyway.
Well, see, in my experience, sage makes people leave that I don't want here because of the smell of it. So
Okay. Well, okay. But let's take that out of the equation, because that's just a physical response, and that's not what we're talking about. That's a body response. That's a meat suit response. That sense is no longer with us when we leave, because we no longer have those receptacles in our nerve endings through our nose and our nasal passages that sends net messages to our physical mattered brain. And either we like the smell or we don't. Let's say you burn the sage and Johnny likes the smell of it. That's never going to happen, because I hate the smell of sage. I think it smells like someone pissed on a heater. But it really stinks, and it probably will work. But let's say I love the smell of sage. So when you burn it, and I just look at you and I laugh. I'm like, seriously, go get your pistol and then I'll run. But you doing that makes me happy, because I love the smell of it. So if nothing changes, now let's say I do leave, but on the way home, God forbid, I have a wreck and I die. And then my soul, instead of going to the Playboy Mansion or back home or the Taj Mahal, I decide, you know what? I'm going to go back and screw with Morgan some more. So I'll go back to your house. Now, what is different? What is different about my soul that didn't change? The only thing changed is I'm no longer carrying that meat suit. What has changed about my inner self from the time that I left your house, died, came back as a spirit, and came back to your house? What has changed that is going to make that sage make me leave your home?
Your sense of smell no longer is there. Does not mean that I'll pull the sage out then. It just means that I'll turn around and say just out randomly, look, you can stay if you want to, but don't F with my family or my kids.
Right.
As long as you behave, you can stay. Otherwise, you're going to have to go.
No. I understand what you're saying, but that's not the argument. The argument is that sage will work against an entity. So having that.
I didn't say it would work against an entity. That's not what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
I just said not to knock the sage because it was part of my heritage. And in some aspects, it does work for negativity in my house. My 15-year-old is autistic. And she has a very high, she's very high strung in certain situations. And there are times where we cannot get her to calm down at all, no matter what we do. So I pull the sage out and I start burning it, and she just, she actually starts calming down.
Okay.
I'll actually sit her down in front of a candle with sage burning, and I'll make her concentrate on the flame, deep breathing with sage.
Okay.
And it calms her down.
Yes, I totally 100% believe that. I really do. But
yeah, that was my point. And what I was talking about with the whole prayer and belief and stuff was, I guess Haley or Katie said it best, a placebo effect. Like if a doctor puts you on a trial and error thing where, with a chemo patient, they're like, okay, well, let's put you on this experiment, and you're not going to know which medication you get, if it's the real medication or if it's a placebo medication, because it's just going to be assigned to you under the same name, and the only thing that's going to be known is what's in your records to the doctor that you get the placebo or not. You're not going to know the difference.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. But but now sage is just that. It's that in that situation, that's the placebo that is affecting her in that way. Because
exactly, as long as she
also music
helping her,
in autism, anything that they can relate to can soothe them, whether it be their mother's voice, their father's voice, music, anything, the sound of a toy. Anything that they can relate to and focus on can bring their attention back, and it'll calm them.
Exactly.
So that's not sage having any type of spiritual powers. That's just sage comforting your daughter, right? Because that's what comforts her, right? Exactly. So that's not a spiritual power. Can we agree with that?
I can agree with that.
Okay.
I can.
Okay, good.
But I never said it was a spiritual power. I was just using the power of belief and prayer as an example. I guess I should have used medication as an example, but also with my experience with prayer is that those that believe in it it works for them, but those that don't believe in the power of prayer, it does nothing for them. So, I mean, like those that don't believe in the power of prayer, somebody can be praying for them, and they don't know it, and something happens for them real good, and they're like, oh, I'm just super lucky like that. You know, because they don't believe in someone praying for them. You know?
Excuse me.
You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah, and I agree with that. But we can stop a blessing. I agree 100%. We can definitely stop a blessing to where it doesn't even happen, no matter how much someone prays for us. If we stop the blessing, it's just there. But you said, do not knock sage because it's part of my heritage. What did you mean by that?
Native American and Celtic heritage.
Okay.
It's part of my heritage.
Okay.
It's just, I was raised with it. Mm-hmm. I was raised, even though I was raised Native American and Celtic heritage, I was also raised to keep an open mind with Catholicism and Baptist, Methodist, Mormons, any religion whatsoever, their mm-hmm. beliefs that I was raised to, or paganism. And sage is heavily used in paganism. Mm-hmm. And I was raised to keep an open mind in every belief and every system and every practice, which means that just because sage is used in paganism, but not used in Catholicism, doesn't mean that it doesn't work for those who believe in it.
It doesn't work for anyone.
Pagans may not believe in Catholic ways, mm-hmm. but that's because it doesn't work for them. Mm-hmm. So, if
when you say doesn't work, doesn't work to do what?
Exactly.
No, that was a question.
Exactly. Do what?
That was a question. Doesn't work to do what?
Say, for instance, basically it's the same thing as prayer. If the whole pagan belief system and rituals and stuff works for the pagans, but it doesn't work for a Christian, or the Christian belief system works for them, but not the pagans, it's the same thing. As long as you have a belief in the power that it's going to work, then it's going to work. A placebo effect. As long as you believe in that medication.
No. You see, you're stepping over different boundaries now. You can't say that it's going to work if you believe in it and it's going to be a placebo effect. That's either or. It can't be it'll work if you believe in it and it's a placebo effect. A placebo effect is basically saying it's not going to work, but I'm going to make you think it works.
Exactly.
So, well, I mean, that's contradictory to what you just said, though.
There are many doctors that give you a medication saying that it's actually medicine when it's a sugar pill. And the person has it in their head that this is medicine and it's going to help them. So therefore that sugar pill actually helps them.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't help them at all. It doesn't do anything for them. The only time a doctor prescribes a medication, a sugar pill, for example, the only time they will prescribe that is whenever they are medically convinced that the condition that the patient has is something that they have derived in their own mental state, not in a physical state. A physical state means that my butt hurt right now because I broke my freaking coccyx bone. That's why my butt hurts. Now, a doctor, and the thing is I fell again on it. It started getting better, but then I fell again on another set of stairs and re-injured it. So now it's even worse. But here's the thing. I can go to the doctor and tell him, hey, my bum hurts. I need some medicine. If he doesn't believe that my bum hurts and I'm just there to get drugs, then he gives me a placebo effect, or placebo medication, such as a sugar pill. That's not going to make my butt not hurt. It's still going to hurt because that's not in my head.
If they have a problem, it's going to work. For those
Exactly.
They have a problem. If they don't, it's going to work. That's what I'm saying. For those that believe they have an issue, it's going to work. Even though those who don't believe they have an issue think they're just being ridiculous.
What about with the people that really do have an issue, though?
Those that do have an issue, once they realize that it's not working, then they call in someone else for a different help that is going to work. I'm sorry, I got distracted by a bag of candy here.
That's okay. It's not that loud, actually. Okay, so I'm trying to get on the right track here. We've gone so many different directions. If it works, if the sage works, then we know that would be, it was just in their heads, basically.
Exactly.
Let's go elementary so I can understand it. If it works, it was just in the person's head.
Exactly.
But if it does not work,
then they realize that, hey, I got bigger problems. This is something serious. Let me call someone who can help.
Okay, so you just won me the debate with that one statement, because you just basically said that if it's real, it's not going to work, and we have to call someone else in. So sage does not have any type of spiritual powers at all. It's just a piece of weed, or excuse me, bush.
It is a bush.
Yeah,
there is a difference between weed and bush.
It'll always be a weed to me. I'm sorry, I'll always call it a weed. So, but it's just so ridiculous that people still use it. It's the same as black cats, 3 o'clock in the morning and Ouija boards, darling. It has no power whatsoever. There's no spiritual aspect to it. Yes, Native Americans used it. Yes, the Greeks used it. Yes, paganism uses it. Yes, some forms of Christianity actually use it. Usually the ones that like to French kiss rattlesnakes. But the point is it has no spiritual power whatsoever. Does a crystal have any type of power to it? Absolutely it does. It's been proven it does. It does have an effect on our environment, and it can have an effect on us. Does it have a spiritual realm power to it? Absolutely not. It's a placebo. I tell people all the time, they say, I'm going to wear my crystals. I'm going to wear my medallion. I'm going to wear my ring. I'm going to wear my cross. I'm going to wear my St. Peter. I'm going to wear my St. Charles, and it's going to help me. That's all it does, is it helps you. That's all it does. It helps you be calm, and it helps you face what you're doing. So that's why I say, if you want to use it, use it. But do not come to me and tell me that sage has the power to press unwillingly a spirit from my home, because it does not have that power. All you're doing is burning a freaking weed bush in my house, and that's all you're doing with it. And it's making it stink, and my drapes I'm going to have to throw away now because it stinks so badly. That's all it's doing. There's nothing else to it. A Ouija board, if you play with it, only thing you did was make Milton Bradley really happy when you paid the $14.99 for it. That's all it does. You did not make any type of power.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, crystals, diamonds, dowsing rods, boxes that pick up UHF frequencies, all this, it doesn't freaking work. Okay, it never, ever, 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 ever works. I've never seen one case where it's been 100% this worked. The same people that tell me to burn sage in my house to get rid of the ghost that's in my house, that I invited in here, by the way, tell me to put salt on the windows and the doors, around the windows and the doors, that way. And they say, well, I say, why do that? And they say, well, they can't cross them. I'm saying, okay, so I'm going to put salt on my windows and my doors so they can't cross the salt. Then I'm going to burn sage, which forces them out. How the hell are they going to get out? They can't cross the salt. It makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. And I didn't bring you on here to pick on you. I hope you know that. I love you so much. And I'm so glad you're part of the Cappy family. And I hope you know that. What I did this to make a point. I did misunderstand you, obviously, because I was thinking that you were saying that it did have a spiritual power. And I don't have a problem with it being part of your heritage. I would never, ever, ever question that in one bit. I know that the Native Americans very much loved sage, and they do believe in its spiritual healing powers and its spiritual, its power to dispel the dark entities and stuff like that. And I understand that. And that's great. But it's the point of it is, at the end of the day, it's nothing. It's just a piece of a bush that you brought into your house, tied it tightly with twine, and burned it. That's all. There's nothing else to it. I promise you. And that's the point I was trying to make. So if
I don't tie it, I cut it up and toss it in a mold and burn it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Either way, it still stinks and it doesn't work. So, if it does make your daughter feel better, oh my gosh, keep doing it. As long as it works, absolutely. Bless her heart. I'm so.
And it keeps people I don't want here away.
Well, no, actually it doesn't. But okay, you do that, not the sage.
Because they know that I burn it, so they don't come over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that might be true. I wouldn't come over if you invited me because of the sage. If you invited me to dinner, I would respectively decline because I would say no because I really hate this. I wouldn't be able to eat your amazing food if I had smelt someone pissing on a heater all night, and that's what it smells like to me. And so
I don't burn it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Burn it if someone calls me and says, "Hey, what are you doing today?"
Burning sage.
Why? Well, I was planning on coming over. Oh, well, I just thought you should know I'm burning sage, so you might not want to do that. Oh, no, I don't want to smell that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Even if I don't burn it, it's already done its job.
That's right. Absolutely. That's right. Yep. So keep using it. Absolutely. But that's why we will never have an investigation. I have been lenient with some things on investigations. I've let people use Frank's box and spirit box and voice boxes. I've let people bring their medallions and their crosses and their crystals and their stones and stuff like that. I don't really have a problem with that, but I will never ever allow sage to be used on an investigation just because of the ridiculousness of it.
There's one thing that I have to disagree with you on. You say that diamonds and sapphires and such are completely useless and have no point. Maybe in the spiritual realm, but they do have a point, and they are not completely useless.
Well, in the paranormal, they don't. Is what I'm saying.
They're used for beautifying.
Yeah, they're great to put on your necklace and your earrings. I personally don't like them, and I don't wear them. But for other people, it's great. But I agree. It's whenever I say it's useless, only thing I'm talking about is paranormal. Spirit realm. That's the only thing I'm talking about. So that's the only reason I said that. So okay. So I think we understand it.
Useless.
Yeah, I think we understand each other a little bit better now. I think you were saying don't knock it because it's part of your heritage, and please don't think I was doing that because I was not. I would never do that. I would never go to a Native American and tell them, "Hey, you're really stupid for burning that bush. It doesn't do anything." I would never do that because that's the same. To me, that would be the same. To me, that would be the same as me going to. Exactly. I would never go to a Baptist church, or I grew up Pentecostal, so I would never go to a Pentecostal church and tell them, "Hey, you're really an ignorant person for believing that you can speak in tongues." I'd never go to a Southern Baptist and say, "Hey, you're really stupid for kissing that rattlesnake." I would never do any of that. But actually,
the Southern Baptists that play with rattlesnakes.
No, it's actually no. It was the Pentecostal. I just didn't want to admit it. But it's crazy. I would never tell anyone not to do something as per their religion because who am I to say that? But I can, when it comes to the paranormal and the spirit realm, I can voice my opinion because I do know, and that's one thing I definitely know, and that's one thing I will always stand behind. Cappy's entire point of being a team, of being a show, of being an educator, of being everything that we do derives from showing people the real paranormal. That's why we do what we do and all we do. So that's why I get excited whenever that happens, so I can get that chance to tell people about what my beliefs is.
I don't walk around with a bag of sage and candles and stones and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And be like, ooh, let me pull this out and do my voodoo and get rid of this for you.
Right.
No, I don't do that. In fact, my husband, it had rained here straight last spring for 3 months. And it starts storming again one day, and he looks at me and he says, "It's raining again." I said, "Yeah, and?" He says, "You gonna do something about it?" I said, "What? Dance around, painted blue, naked out in the yard doing some sort of voodoo dance? It don't work like that." So,
right.
Despite the fact that I do practice paganistic beliefs, I do. Because the Christian belief system has not worked for me. The pagan belief system actually helps me feel more calm and more centered and makes me feel like I can be a better person doing that because it's a more open-minded belief system than your regular conformed Christianity belief systems. Especially around here in my little town where I'm at, where it's if you're not this Baptist or that Baptist or Mormon, then you're absolutely stupid and don't know what you're talking about, closed-mindedness. So that's how it is in my town. Everybody's closed-minded about everything. And then here I come along, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I think I know more about your religion than you do because I practiced it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, cool.
Kind of thing.
All right, so look, I'm going to catch up with the comments real quick, and then I want to go into the your experience with Sasquatch. Is that okay?
Yes, like graveyard dirt and casket nails.
All right.
No, John, I keep my graveyard dirt under my house where it belongs.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get the call up here. All right. I'm moving in your spare bedroom tomorrow. Margo, keep your sage opinions to yourself. Oh, that's right. Margo burns a lot of sage too. We're reading the extra bedroom right now. Hey, I have another Yankee friend on with me now. Back up now. Oh, Katie's got back up because she has Margo. Taking your request, Margo. Let me know before I order everything. Just no sage. Yeah, you can't burn sage at Katie's house. Sage is a good color, Katie. I vote industrial rustic. Well, I will need a
sage is a good color.
Vest for sure to display my, and then get a hose of my sage. I agree.
I also use sage in a lot of my cooking, so yes, it's a great spice.
Yeah, it's good for cooking. It really is. All right, Margo, you now have to go move in with one of our other friends. Hey, Cassandra, I didn't see you come on. I'm sorry. How are you tonight?
Margo has an abalone dish. Mine's just brass.
Sage discussing sage with Morgan. Okay, I think they're just talking about what we were talking about. Okay, getting noisy here. Gonna watch weather in a minute. Please be safe.
Oh, you were wondering what I said something about, yes, let me help myself, hug myself?
Yeah.
I was joking around about the whole cage, padded room, huggy jacket thing. Straight jacket.
Oh, straight jacket. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
I'm like, yes, go ahead, let me hug myself.
There are some people that say sage smells like weed. That's what John said. I've heard that too, but I've never smelled sage and thought weed, except for being a weed.
Smells like weed.
Yeah, I don't think it smells like pot.
Yeah, white sage actually smells like skunk weed, and skunk weed is like the lowest form of marijuana that you can get, and it is just, trust me, I know. My neighbors 3 doors down burn it all the time.
Yeah.
Skunk
it smells
weed,
like someone
sage.
Pissing on a heater to me. It smells like burning urine. It's horrible. No graveyard nails. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what he was talking about. We've had people that has joined us on investigations before that carried coffin nails and graveyard dirt. I don't know.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, that's just as silly as sage. Sage is just as silly as that. So must be my essential oils.
We are discussing the necessity and uses of sage in spiritualism. My husband says there is no necessity.
Oh, I like your husband. What's his name?
Matt.
Mac? Matt, like M-A-T?
M-A-T-T.
Tell Matt that I like him. He's a good guy.
Johnny says he likes you.
I mean, I don't want to swap spit in the shower. Don't make him think that.
Yeah, he agrees too. He says sage don't do nothing but effing stink.
Thank you.
It smells like someone pissing on a heater.
I agree with Matt. Matt's a good guy.
He says he won't let me burn it in the house anymore, but I burn it when he's not here, but I make sure all my doors are open up.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
When I do.
Compromise. That's what marriage is all about.
Compromise, and it can get overwhelming. So,
yes, it can.
No, I'm serious. Even I think it can get overwhelming. So,
absolutely.
I mean.
All right, so let's transition from sage to Sasquatch. Tell us about your Sasquatch experience, Morgan.
Okay, so my ex-husband currently has custody of our two children.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hold on, I've got the phone repositioned. Can everyone hear Morgan still? John, give me a thumbs up if you can hear Morgan still.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
John says, come camping with us, Matt.
Yeah, John says for you to come camping with him.
Yes, okay, good. Margot says that we are good. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Start your story.
Okay, so currently my ex-husband has custody of our two oldest children.
Okay.
At this time, he lived at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. My new husband, Matt, wanted to visit the mountains one summer in North Carolina. So now Matt is a true Alabama boy, hardly been east of the Alabama state line. Like the furthest he'd ever been that direction is Atlanta. Okay, until he met me.
Uh-huh.
So every summer or spring, however you want to put it, right after school let out, we would load up the car, truck, SUV, whatever we had, head to North Carolina to pick up the two oldest, and head right back for the entire summer.
Mm-hmm.
This year, he decides he wants to go through the mountains coming home. I'm like, okay. So I end up typing in Grandfather Mountain there in North Carolina.
Okay.
Now, on the other side of Grandfather Mountain, by the way, is this beautiful little town called Blowing Rock, North Carolina. It is literally the picture-perfect Norman Rockwell Christmas town.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is also how our GPS got the nickname Murder Machine. GPS gets us lost. We end up somewhere on the backside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in the middle of nowhere, going down what was supposed to be this dirt road that ends in this clearing with trailers all around. And we start making jokes about Billy Bob and John Boy and Bubba being out there with their banjos. And out of nowhere, I just yell, "Holy shit! I think I see Bigfoot holding a shotgun saying we sure do have pretty mouths." So, we got out of there very quickly. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. Yes, it is a Garmin, John. So then we finally, the next morning, leave Charlotte. We ended up somewhere near, dang it, it's named after a food. It's in Salisbury. We ended up in Salisbury, North Carolina. We end up getting on Grandfather Mountain, and we go all the way up it, and we go all the way back down it. But on the way going up it, we get to this little town that is literally a mile wide, mile long. And it is called Seven Devils. I kid you not. We are going through Seven Devils. We go down around this curve, and my 15-year-old, she's now 15, is sitting in the front between my husband and me. And at the exact same moment, we point and scream, "Bigfoot." Because as we come around this giant curve, right there, what seemed like in the middle of the road, was this ginormous bronze Bigfoot yard decoration. Ever since then, everywhere we go, we look for Bigfoot. Everywhere we go. We have found Bigfoot in the Carolina mountains, in Kentucky, Tennessee, and even in northern Alabama in the mountains up there coming back down through. We have found statues of Bigfoot ever since. And we always take a picture, and I always post it. Just wooden statues, bronze statues, all those kinds of things. But it was just funny. We started joking about Bigfoot, and then there's this giant statue of Bigfoot right there, and we were not expecting. We weren't even looking for it. And it ends up being right on the outskirts of a town called Seven Devils. And we're like, okay.
Wait, what's the name of the town again?
Seven Devils.
Is that in North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. All right, continue.
It is at the base of Grandfather Mountain, Seven Devils is. And for it to be only about a mile total in one direction and the other, it's got a lot of buildings packed into that 1 mile. And then as you exit Seven Devils, right there on the outskirts of the town is this store, like a plant store, nursery. And it's got all these bird feeders and everything else, and there's this giant bronze Bigfoot. And it looks like it's right in the middle of the road. So, that is my Bigfoot story. And that is also how Garmin got its
name is Murder Machine, right?
yes, Murder Machine. And then my husband turns around and buys me a Garmin from my car, and it is Murder Machine 2.0.
Murder Machine.
Because where it landed me, and I wasn't even sure I was in the right area, and I was in the right area, and I locked my doors, and I pulled my gun out and held it in my lap. But that's another story. Sage wasn't going to fix that problem.
Right. That took 357. That's too funny. We're outside in the dark. The storm is coming through. We're out here in it. So if I get struck by lightning, you guys will get to see a pretty light show.
Please do not get struck by lightning.
I'm just kidding. I won't get struck by lightning. I mean, I hope I don't.
I would say pay attention to the hairs, but you ain't got none.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe the hairs on my chest will glow. And y'all see them through the shirt. All right. Any questions about that? Anybody have any questions about that? That's pretty cool. I'm familiar with that area. I've never heard of Seven Devils, but I am familiar with that area that she's talking about. And it is picture perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Blowing Rock is like picture perfect. We go through and everybody's out on the town green with their baby strollers walking around, their kids with cotton candy, their dogs running around fetching stuff. And I'm like, what kind of Twilight Zone hell did we enter? So.
Katie, you're a nut.
It was definitely
it does, John. Yeah, no doubt. It does, John. John says it sounds like the beginning of a missing 411 story from David Pilates. It really does. It certainly does.
Oh, trust me. I wouldn't know, but if you say so.
Katie, are you being funny or are you serious? Margot really does have a Bigfoot story.
Oh, no, it says something here about coming out of the woods while camping with dirty knees from falling by being chased by Bigfoot.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what the dirty knees was from. I swore Sasquatch to secrecy. She says, I'm going to bed. I swore Sasquatch to secrecy. Oh, come on, Margot.
His name is Daryl.
Say again?
His name is Daryl. Haven't y'all seen the commercial?
No, I haven't.
It's Daryl. His name is Daryl.
Sasquatch's name is Daryl? I hadn't seen that commercial.
I can't remember what kind of commercial if it is. Like what kind of commercial it is, but I know he says, "Did you just call me Bigfoot? My name is Daryl."
Oh, that's too funny. I'll have to watch that one. Katie, can you call in and tell her story? Can you do that? All right. Hold on. Let me get off with Morgan. Morgan, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was a fun debate and an awesome story. Thank you so much.
No problem. Hey, I like to debate, so
awesome.
I'm good.
Good.
And like I said, I'm not a snowflake to take offense at everything. So
good. I'm glad. All right, darling. Thank you so much.
All right. You have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. That was fun. That was super fun. Thank you, Morgan, for calling in. Margot won't call in. Margot's afraid. Do I scare you, Margot? Is that what it is? It's a Geico commercial. Is it really? I hadn't seen that one. Where Bigfoot says his name is Daryl. I always wondered what his name was. Katie, do you want to call in and tell Margot's story? Is that okay with you, Margot? Yes, thank you, Morgan. Thank you so much. You don't scare me. Well, then why won't you call in? Y'all, it's getting pretty bad. Can y'all hear the wind and the thunder? It's getting pretty bad here. That's what I thought. She was just kidding. Katie's that way. All right, I'll tell my story. Hold on. Let me get the dog in. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get the dog in. She's scared of the thunder. She's about to lose her mind. Cassandra, what are you trying to say about the nursing home? The lady that tapped you on the shoulder. Do you want to call in and tell that story? Did y'all see that lightning? That was cool. It happened just as I turned the computer around. I'm coming in. So cool that I can be mobile. Sorry about that. Let me get plugged back in here. Hold on. What? Huh? I don't know. You'll have to ask Mom. All righty. Where's my... There it is. I'm wet. I'm wet from the rain.